Campers. I'm Melissa, your arts and crafts coordinator, and for today's activity we are going to be doing kind of like a camping themed arts and crafts activity. We are going to be doing indoor stargazing using your flashlight that came in your camper bag, as well as creating some shadow puppets. So there's lots of different ways to do this. You can do it however you want to, but here are some examples. So I'm going to turn out the light here so we can take a look at what it could look like. So for our stargazing, you can choose to create any stars that you want. So this is a constellation that I made. You might recognize it. And then as well, you can choose to spell out words or make up your own stars, what they might look like. You can see what these stars kind of spell out maybe. Up to you on what your stars in your sky look like. As well, we have some shadow puppets, so you can guess what kind of animal we have here, as well as a tree. So you could create your own story using these shadow puppets made out of paper. You can make them out of your hands. It's totally up to you how you want to do this activity. So now let's get to the making. The materials that we need for this project are some pieces of cardstock paper, some wooden skewers, a sponge. For junior campers, this is in your kit. For senior campers, you will find this in your felting kit that was right up at the top of your box. You need a thumbtack. Be careful with the pointy end. When you're not using it, you can keep it right in your sponge so that it can't accidentally prick you. From your general arts and crafts bag, you're going to want to grab your scissors, a pencil, and then from your camper bag, you want to grab your flashlight, which is going to create the light for our stargazing and our shadow puppets. As well, you want to find at home a paper towel roll that we're going to use with the flashlight. This can actually have the paper towel still on them or not. It doesn't matter because you can reuse it later. We just need to use the holdout space in the middle. If you don't have a paper towel roll, you could also tape some toilet paper rolls together to create the same effect. So the first thing that we're going to do is our flashlight stargazing. This is a great activity to do outside as well with real stars, but sometimes the weather isn't so great or we can't get out, so this is a nice fun activity. So we're going to grab a piece of our cardstock, our sponge, and our thumbtack, as well as our pencil. So what you're going to want to do with your pencil is kind of draw out the stars that you want. So any little spot that you draw a little circle on is going to be where we poke a little hole through with our thumbtack, which is going to make our star, because that's going to let the light from the flashlight shine through the paper and get to the other side. So you can draw a constellation, like a real constellation, the way that the stars are laid out, or you could completely make up your own constellation. So this one kind of looks like a heart made out of little stars. You could spell out a word if you wanted to. Make sure not to place your stars too close to each other. So M for my first name, Melissa, and my last name starts with an L. So I could do my initials if I wanted. Once I'm happy with my star designs, I can always add more later to use up all of the paper. I'm going to grab my sponge and lay it down on my workplace. Again, be very careful with your thumbtack that you don't lose it. So I'm going to lay the thumbtack next to the sponge so it's easy to find. The places on my paper that have the stars drawn out, that's what I want to lay on my sponge, because I'm going to grab my thumbtack and that's what I'm going to poke through the paper with. Now I want to make sure to keep my fingers very far away from this. You can get help from a parent or guardian to do this part. Especially our junior campers might want some help with this one. But what you're going to do is just take your thumbtack, place it where one of your stars is marked, and then you just poke a hole down through and pull back up your thumbtack. If you want your star to be a little bit bigger, when you poke it through, you can kind of twirl it around to make it a bigger hole. When you push down this way, the back of the thumbtack, the pointed part, goes into the sponge so that we don't accidentally get your fingers. So I'm going to do this with all of the stars in my heart here and my initials to make sure that the light can shine through. The second way that we're going to use our flashlight is to create some shadow puppets. So you can do this in a whole bunch of different ways, but a really easy way to do it is to just draw a design on your paper, your cardstock, cut it out, and then you can glue it to the tip of a wooden skewer. And that way you can hold it up, you can kind of move your puppets around, just like we did. For example, this is a lion that I made. And then we have a tree that we just cut out. And this is the sun. So I just glued it to the top of the wooden skewer with my white glue. And then there's a cloud. So this might be fun if you want to create like a puppet show. You could get your family members involved if they want to be different, play different parts. And once you draw your shapes and you just cut them out of the paper using your pencil and your scissors, and you glue them onto your skewers, then you're going to be able to try it out with your flashlight. So I'm just going to grab my black piece of paper again, and I'm going to turn off my main light here so that we can see kind of what this is going to look like. It's a little bit bright for me because it is daytime, but we'll get a little idea. So I'm just going to grab my flashlight here and use the button on the back to push in and turn it on. And you can see if I just place my puppet in front of it, it just makes the outline of it. So you really don't have to worry about making any mistakes when you're drawing or anything. It's just the outline that you've cut. So there's our cloud. You can play with how big it is by moving it in or out. Again, you might want to use your paper towel roll in the same way. Here we have our sun, our tree, which we can make really big or really small, and then of course our little lion here. So maybe he's walking through the forest. We could tell a little story about what he's doing. You can also use your white tablecloth that's in your kit to make kind of a backdrop to do a whole puppet show in front of and have a lot of fun. You can also use your hands, of course, to make shadow puppets in different forms, trying to make like eyes and a mouth and different animals. Maybe you can make like a monster. It's completely up to you what you're gonna do. And then of course you shine your light on top and you're going to get your shadow puppet on the other side. Maybe that's some kind of duck that I created just there. Quack, 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 quack. I hope you had fun with Camp Delight Arts and Crafts today. Please make sure to share any photos or videos that you'd like with us. You can use social media using Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter to connect with us using the hashtag CampDelight2020. Or you can always use email to send us any photos or videos. Our camp email address is campdelight@candlelightersnl.ca. We look forward to hearing from you. See you next time.